Hi, welcome back to another video. This week we're going to focus on our mind because we can work so much on our outside appearance and how we are perceived. But if we're not fixing what's going on in our mind, we're not fully glowing up from the inside out. I will be following the guide of the 4 agreements, a practical guide to personal freedom by Don Miguel Ruiz. I'll also be sharing 6 practical tips that align with these 4 agreements as well, just so you know how to practically use them. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. Your words shape your energy, how you feel about yourself, how you think, and what you attract. You want to make sure that you're always speaking positive to yourself. When you are constantly listening to affirming positive words daily, your brain is interpreting that as your reality. Your brain does not know the difference between energy you are trying to call in and what's actually going on around you. So even if you look around you and you feel like where you are is not where you want to be, you tell your brain what you want it to believe, and for then it will create that reality around you. That same thing goes for gossiping and talking negatively about others. You don't want to talk negatively about others because you are putting negative energy out into the world if you do so, and that is not staying true to your word because you are just perpetuating negativity in the world. And I'm not saying a little kiki here and there, but be very mindful about what it is that you're speaking out into existence. You never want to make very harmful statements about someone else's life because that doesn't align with your higher version of yourself. The ways that you can implement these daily are to listen to daily affirmations. You can also journal affirmations to yourself, always writing about your higher life, calling in great energy. Also, to spread great energy and to also touch on this is to mean that when you say that you're going to do something, you actually do that, because this is you making your word in confidence, and you now believe in yourself more because you do what you said that you're going to do. Wake up every day with an intention that is personal to you. The second agreement is to don't take anything personally. This is the one that I would say is the most difficult because most of us unfortunately take things personally. But I mean, that is just human nature to do so. But once you can overcome not taking things personally, you realize that you no longer want to take on someone else's emotion and make that your own. You no longer walk around on eggshells because you believe if someone's quiet, that means that they're upset with you, or it causes this whole distress in your body because now you are taking whatever that person said to you and you are making this entire narrative in your head. You have now absorbed their emotions, and in reality, it might just be something else going on in their head and it has nothing to do with you. And even if someone says something to you that is negative or you just really didn't appreciate that, you can choose to understand and know that that has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them and how they're personally feeling inside. And if you know you're doing your best and you know you didn't mean anything by whatever it is, or if you know that you didn't intentionally try to hurt someone, remember not to take it personally, because this is what's going to keep your emotions regulated so you can feel confident in yourself and know that you're doing the best that you can do and you're going to be okay at the end of the day. Not taking anything personally is the way to self-preservation. You are keeping that peace inside of your body. And a couple of habits that you can use not to do so is to make sure that you're taking time out of your days to meditate, breathe, and come back to yourself. The way I do this is sound baths. I do sound baths for myself as well as listen to sound baths. You can also listen to my sound baths here on YouTube. Shameless plug. However, sound baths are a really good way to meditate and realign your chakras and Another good way to come back to yourself to meditate is you can just be sitting there taking in some deep breaths. You can take 5 minutes for yourself. If you're ever feeling emotional, a really good way is to take a walk and just breathe, take in some sun, and just remind yourself that you have peace within yourself even when those days are tough. Another mindful habit to keeping your peace and your calmness is to have a good sleep schedule, because when you get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you wake up feeling rested and at peace, and you are ready to take on that day. Wake up on time, not rush, have your mornings to yourself, getting ready slowly, taking the time to meditate, listen to that sound bath, listen to calming music. You have that time to yourself. But when you are working off of very little sleep, it is very hard to stay emotionally regulated and at peace because you are already running on E. So whether or not you meditate throughout the day, and maybe meditation for you is just doing your makeup in the morning, doing your skincare in the morning, the fact that you have 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, you have done yourself a very great service, because now you're able to go out into the world and to be your best self and to not take things personally when certain things arise. The third agreement is to don't make assumptions. We're always trying to plan for everything, and to make an assumption is doing yourself a disservice, because communication is always key. When you communicate with someone about what it is that they said to you that you are perplexed about, to ask for clarity is to know what is really happening, instead of causing stress in your head to think that something is going on. In reality, maybe that person just said something in a way they didn't even mean to. Maybe they were thinking about something completely different and they just said it in a way, and now you are making an assumption instead of responding with a calm and collected mind and not an emotional reaction. When you work on communicating and to not make assumptions, you are also growing that confidence to speak up for yourself and to have your own voice, because now you know that whether it's confrontational or non-confrontational, you can ask in a very polite way for clarity about what someone said to you instead of just assuming. And that is emotional maturity, when you're able to speak up for yourself in a very calm and collected way. That is a big sign of growth. Daily habits to practice this and to keep clarity within yourself is to have daily movement, to go on a walk, go to the gym, Pilates, yoga, because you are allowing yourself to move your body, have that mind to physical connection. In addition to daily movement, is to always make sure that you're putting healthy, colorful foods into your body so you can nourish your mind, your bellies, and you are now able to think more clearly and move throughout the world with more energy that you can thrive off of. And even if you aren't able to move your body because maybe it's a day you're really busy, is to go outside barefoot and really ground yourself for a second and take some time to just literally touch grass. And this will help you come back to yourself and be in a more clear-headed mind instead of having a reaction. And for the fourth and final agreement is to always do your best. It reminds you that you're not striving for perfection. You are striving for consistency. You are striving to show up for yourself and giving yourself grace to do so. Being a human does not mean that you're going to do everything at 100% every single day, because not every day calls for that. But to remember that you are doing what you can every day is to ensure that you are always reminding yourself that you are doing the best that you can do and that you're going to get where you need to go. This is a really good agreement for the perfectionists out there, because a lot of the times being a perfectionist is hindering you from showing up in the way that you want to, because you have this fear that it's not going to be perfect. And let me break it to you, honey, it's never going to be perfect, because that doesn't exist. Even when you put out your best work and you look back at it next time, you're going to say to yourself, there's something that you could have done better. But that's the best part about living life, is that you always get another opportunity to do you and do life better. And when you get to wake up in the morning and do your best, you've already won the day, because not everyone is granted that guarantee that they will wake up and be able to do their best again. So when you wake up every day, day after day after day, and you get another opportunity to do your best and to show yourself grace and to wake up again and do it all over again, you've already won. Because what you're striving for is to live daily and to learn and to make mistakes and to grow. And that is where the real win is. Habits to tie into this are to make sure that you are doing your skincare daily. Laying your clothes out the night before is setting yourself up for success. Writing out what you're going to do for the week is setting yourself up for success. Making sure that you're getting at least one major task done a day is setting yourself up for success. So always strive to do your best, no matter how big or how small it is. And always remember to give yourself your flowers. Because if you don't give yourself your flowers, it won't matter whether or not anyone's giving you your flowers, because you need to conquer in your mind first that you are always doing your best and everyone else's flowers are just extra. The 4 agreements are mindset shifts that become daily habits for peace, beauty, and confidence. That's all I have for you today. If you did enjoy this video, or you know someone else who could really benefit from this video, please go ahead, give it a like, give it a share, and as always, I will see you next time.